Hi guys, I'm Desiree Riley. I'm going to be on Goodreads. I'm going to be blogging about a book called Still Life with the Brass Pole. I did ask the gentleman Craig if I could read this book for him. I read it and it's a really great book. The kid in the book is him. I will tell you about the story. This will be put on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest. And then it'll also be put on Stumble and a couple other places. I am on the net. I am a blogger and I'm a reader. I read up to 5 books a week. If I'm on vacation, which will be this weekend, I can read up to 10. I'll sit there and listen to the music, read a book, write it down, come back on Monday, and I'll be having a bunch more books to do. So I hope to see you, and I hope you will like what I'm going to say. Okay, this is the cover, but since this is on my ebook, it's black and white, but it's a yellow cover with the girl on a pole. It says Still Life with the Brass Pole by Greg McKean. He goes through his teenage years and his whole life going from one place to another. Okay, this, I'm going to read you what it says on here. Note, I am not sure the blinking lights we were in my trunk. I'm about 90%, 95% on that. We might have put them in my friend's car, and then they were law found us through him, and then there are also places where they're passing time. Forced me to recreate dialogue. What else? Zach and Sean, my reasons for getting up in the morning before you were born. He goes from Florida, Oklahoma, Arizona, Texas, and a couple other places. The way he describes this book, what he did is he was adopted. His mom and dad, his mom had a miscarriage. She has one girl. Well, dad, well, of all things, he's gay. And then he lives in Florida. So mom lives wherever she can. She goes from one man to another. His friends through school will say, hey, is my dad with your mom today? He couldn't tell them because he didn't know. Okay, then turn around. His dad's friend, one of his dad's lovers, would take him different places. His dad got him hooked on steroids, coke, and some other drugs. Well, he was a skinny little kid through school. Well, getting picked on, he didn't like it. So mom's boyfriend, who happened to be a 25-year-old, supposedly buffed up bodybuilder, Mom is working in the gym as a Pilates and another yoga instructor. Okay, so he gets used to the gym. Well, they teach him how to start building up muscle. Well, with the muscle comes the drugs. Well, the drugs are starting to get to him. Here's dad. He's trying to get into him. His dad tries to rape him. His mom comes out and says, hey, you know, what's going on? Dad says, well, nothing. Dad comes out with his pants hanging down. And he tries to tell his mom what's going on. Nothing's going on. Well, mom and dad are divorced now. This is a great book to be able to read. He goes from one place to another. His sister goes back and forth to Florida to visit dad. He goes back and forth to Florida to visit dad. Well, mom has all different kinds of boyfriends. Well, mom gets these different types of surgery to make her look younger. I'd say she was probably in her 30s, and she decided to keep one boyfriend. Well, Greg didn't like him. The way he described him in the book, I wouldn't have liked him either. The guy was a hothead. He tried to beat up. The mom got pregnant. She had another little girl. Well, she's the sweetest little thing, and then Greg would turn around and, come visit her. He's working from one place to another. The reason why it's called the brass pole is, see, he has worked in stripper joints. When he works in the stripper joints, you're not allowed to communicate with the ladies. Okay, he becomes a person that turns around and, the bouncer. Well, he gets stronger and stronger by lifting weights. He's in the gym half the time, and then when he ain't taking the drugs, he's puffing up. Well, he met a lady in one of the strip joints. Well, they were fired. Well, he wanted her to quit. And she said, no, I can't quit. She started going out ballistic on him. She had guys there back and forth in their apartment. Well, he's still trying to get an education. He won the Arizona teen competition, which was good, for his ego. But then that caused him to take and get into more and more drugs. Well, when he did, he decided, well, he wanted to go get his education. He wanted to quit drugs. So he made his mind up, went back to college, quit taking the drugs. The girlfriend said, okay, you quit taking the pot. You quit taking the coke. Well, he threw $200 of coke away. And he didn't know where he was going to get his high at, but he started concentrating on his books and his education. He was still working in the bars, even though, he needed to work to be able to pay for rent and pay for everything else. But this time, he was a bartender. Because you see, once he quit the steroids, he started becoming flabby. So he just built his body back up, got drug-free. Well, he finally got the lady out that he wanted out of the bar. Again, okay, the mom and daughters were working in there, and the mom kept pushing her and pushing her, said, go out with him. Well, he went out with a couple of the ladies, and, he's gotten fired. He come back. Well, he finally found somebody. When he did find somebody, who did they live across the street from? Mom and Ray. Well, Ray decided he was going to start hitting on Mom. Well, that didn't go too long. Well, they had a 3-year-old little girl, as I told you, his little sister. Well, his girlfriend-to-be was pregnant, and she turned around and grabbed the little girl, and he let Ray beat the shit out of him. Mom tells the cop, well, no, nothing was going to happen. Well, Mom and Ray are still together. And he turned around, once he let Ray beat him up, well, you're just being the bad, Ray had a temper, and that didn't work. Ray didn't have, he didn't want his little sister hurt. Well, his girlfriend, his soon-to-be wife, lost the baby. Well, they kept moving. They moved to 4 different states. Finally, this book is really, like I said, the book is really good. It's a memoir of him. He went from drugs, first to being adopted, then to drugs, and then to clean. Now he's a well-known author. I'd like to say thanks a lot for me. Let me read the book. He does have some other books. And I will be putting this on the net pretty soon. So come and look for it and look and read the book. It took me less than a day to read this book. I got into it, and I know, he could be a conventional person that talked to people about drugs. keeping the kids off the drugs. That's what you need to do. Parents, if you're reading the book, look at it. You know, it's a pole dancer. You know, life of a pole dancer can be dangerous. Some of them start at 15, 16 years old. Don't let your daughters do that. You know, don't let them get into drugs.